Jody, the floor is
Yeah,
yours.
so much. Appreciate ranking members Comer and Norman and Chairman Newhouse. Appreciate y'all putting this together. And for each of our panelists, thank you all for being here with us today. The thing that I know I'm not alone in this, but what concerns me so much is the fact that President Biden shut down the Keystone Pipeline, which, as we all know, cost thousands of jobs here in America. He hamstrung our domestic oil production and limited access to federal lands, as we all know. Massive regulations were put on and on the energy industry as a whole. And promoting the Green New Deal, all these kinds of things have been devastating to our economy. And all of our constituents are feeling it at the gas pump, heating bills right here in the middle of winter, all these type of things. But then you add to all of that, the most egregious part of this whole thing in terms of the administration's policies and decisions is the decision to allow Russia the same Russia, by the way, that at any moment, literally, could invade the Ukraine, but to allow them to build Nord Stream 2 pipeline, really holding hostage so many in Europe. And here, I just can't, I still cannot wrap my brain around that. We shut down our own energy production and allow our enemies to hold hostage Europe. And now we're in the situation having to buy oil from many of our adversaries, putting money in their pocket, not the least of which is Russia itself. And this is just unthinkable to me, what this administration has allowed to get done. And if anyone thinks this is a good idea, I mean, how can anyone actually come to that sort of conclusion? And so the national security interests, I think, really is where I'm heading with all of this. And I just want to throw this out, Katie, to you, Ms. Tubb. This whole issue of reducing our own energy independence while at the same time allowing some of our adversaries geopolitical strategies of countries like China and Russia to get a foothold. How do you see this picture? What does this whole thing look like to you, and how does it impact our national security?
That's a huge question. I think it's just on its face very inconsistent and confusing to Americans, as it should be. Canada is one of our best trading partners, a longtime ally. And so the Keystone Pipeline situation was not only frustrating for Americans, but also for Canadians, including the Canadian government. And I think that tells you a lot about where this administration's priorities are. As far as Nord Stream 2 and the situation there, I think, Europe gives us a lot of things to learn from. They're further down the road in their commitment to net zero electricity policy and what they have done to shut down affordable, reliable electricity resources, make it very difficult to access their own energy, and increase costs for conventional energy while subsidizing other politically favored sources of energy. And what they find themselves in today is they have ruled out so many options that they are over-reliant on natural gas, such that they are now quite vulnerable to the Russia situation. And I think that's quite the warning for us in the United States as President Biden continues to push us further down the road of what Europe has already chosen, that we need to look at the consequences of that, both in terms of costs, but also what we're making ourselves vulnerable to. And I don't think we want to go down that road.
I agree with you. Thank you so much. I yield back.